There are some questions that Sahil made, and let's say Shavni conducted it for you people last time. So we now will first start with uh, giving out the answers to the previous quiz, which is Sahil's quiz, and then we will go on with today's quiz. So here we go. Sahil's quiz. Before that, we do this quiz every day at 7:30. Please let your friends know and please join us for all the quizzes. And it's live on Facebook on this page, as you can see, HomeRun Quizzes. Okay, so please write down your answers on a piece of paper or write it down on MS Word, and then send it across to us. So there's a WhatsApp number given there. You can send it there, or if you have my personal number, you can send it to me personally. Or if you want to write to us on our Facebook page, you can message that us on our Facebook page as well. So I'm here starting my quiz, starting to give out the answers to Sahil's quiz. So this was the first question of the quiz, and the answer to this was Muharram. So this is Muharram. So this is the martyrdom of a messenger's grandson. This is Muharram. Then was this question. We all know Dr. Watson, and we all that's why know who the creator of Dr. Watson is. So this is none other than Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who himself was a doctor, and his exploits in another sport being cricket, and the only victim being W.G. Grace. So mystery man, of course, A.C. Doyle. Moving on, this is question number 3. The person you see in the picture, in the third picture, is someone called Sir Henry Durant. Durant gives his name to Durand Line, which is the partition between Pakistan and Afghanistan. So in this case, the order doesn't matter. You can either write Pakistan and Afghanistan or Afghanistan and Pakistan. As long as Afghanistan and Pakistan both are there in the answer, you get full point. Moving on. So I remember Shagni giving out a hint like it is a name of a famous footballer plus a a poet, and incidentally later realized with my best friend that it was that footballer's birthday, so it was Kaka and Edgar Allan Poe. So yeah, it's Kaka Poe. It is the Maori language for night parrot. So this is Kaka Poe. Moving on, Balbir Singh Senior, whom all we have heard of after the movie Gold, and Shiva Keshwan. This guy is a luge player from India. So these are the only two people who have got this honor more than one occasion. The honor being to be the flag bearers at Olympics for India. So these are the only two people who got this opportunity to do it more than once. So, yeah, moving on. The next question was this. In this strategy, soldiers marching in rows align their shields. So, this is not armadillo or porcupine, this is tortoise. So, this is tortoise. Moving on, this question, the 14 prime ministers of India have come from a total of 6 states. Representation of Rajya Sabha included UP, Gujarat, AP, Karnataka are the 4, which are the other 2. Very interesting to know that Manmohan Singh was not in Rajya Sabha MP from Punjab, but from Assam. So his constituency is Tezpur. So yes, he's a Rajya Sabha MP from Tejpur, which is Assam, and the other person being IG Gujral or IK Gujral or Inder Kumar Gujral, who was there from Bihar. His seat was Gaya, and he was from Bihar. Moving on to this question, this is a two-worded term. So I am pretty sure most of you got the second part correct, which is thaw, and the Soviet leader being Nikita Khrushchev. So this is called Khrushchev thaw. So this is Khrushchev thaw, which basically was repression, censorship, and everything was relaxed. So these were the period when everything was happening. So this is Khrushchev thaw. So this was an interesting and easy question, I think. If you know films, that Lonoy Cabria was the film which defeated Mother India to Oscars. So this was the first movie that went to Oscars from us in the finals. So that Mother India was the first. The second movie lost out to a movie called Salam Bombay. And the third movie, as you could find out, was the movie Lagan, which lost to. We did not want Lagan, we wanted No Man's Land, which lost, which won to Lagan in the Oscars. So yeah, the third entry would be No Man's Land, and the Connect being winners of Best Foreign Language Films when an Indian film was nominated. Moving on to this next question. This is the 10th question. Okay, so this is interesting. We all know this vegetable because our parents force us to eat, and this is okay. Sagnik said he did not like it much. I love this vegetable. I'm a Bugs Bunny, so you get this vegetable when I say it's Bugs Bunny. So it's carrot, and the myth that went around was like carrots are good for your eyes. Moving on, 11th question. This was a company called Lupin. This is Lupin Pharmaceuticals, which was started by Deshbandhu Gupta, who was a professor of chemistry in BITS Pilani, and then he started Lupin Pharmaceuticals. Then is this question. This is a person called Rashesh Shah, and he started this company named after this Austrian flower called Edelweiss, which is Edelweiss Insurance and everything. So this is Edelweiss. Moving on, this is 13th question. 13th question. I don't know how many of you have tried this brand of lollipops, but this is very delicious. One of my favorites. So this is Chupa Chups. This is Chupa Chups, which was started by Edric Burnett, and as you know, Madonna's favorite. So this is Chupa Chups. Moving on. So you had portraits completed thing. So the brand is Kiwi Shoe Polish, and you have to name all the paintings. So X is the girl in pearl earring. Y is the self-portrait of Vincent van Gogh, and Z, very interestingly, is Mona Lisa. So we wanted the girl with the pearl earring, self-portrait of Vincent van Gogh, and Mona Lisa to the answers. And so the theme that was there in question number 11, 12, and 13, there was a theme that, said, Klagnik told in the, while running the thread. So the theme of 11, 12, and 13 being that these have these have logos which are based on flowers. So yes. Now moving on. Before we move on, here is the leaderboard for that quiz. So, winning the quiz with a whooping 16 is Abhishek Patil. Then you have Vinay Handa. I have my name. I can see my name. Then you have Tanishk, and they tied at 12.5. You have Shomiran. Shomiran, finally you are there on the leaderboard. Please see we see your answers as well. Then we have Shahul and Nishit at 8 and 6 respectively. So thank you, not from, that was thank you slide from Sahil. Here I start my quiz. So I'm starting with my quiz now. So thank you all for joining in. I'll just have a quick check of how many people are there. So I can see 32 people. I can see 32 people. I mean, I'm overwhelmed. I am like overwhelmed. Okay, let this overwhelming thing, sink in. Okay, so question number 1 goes on your screen now. So this is the first question. So there you have someone and Paresh Rawal, you have someone and another actor, then you have someone and I want someone. So I want the actor who replaces the question mark in the question. No, Rajoshida, you don't have to identify all the people on the slide. You have to identify the person who goes behind that question mark in this question. So yeah, again, just to clarify, you have someone in Paresh Rawal, you have someone in Sachin Khedekar. Okay, I'll name the actor, and then you have someone else, and I want the question person who goes behind the question mark. No, Rorik, you can't answer here. Please answer. Write it on a piece of paper in WhatsApp, please. Okay, those messages that you're going in getting in form of comments, that those are not written by me. I'm not writing things like I'm the best quizzers and quiz masters in the country, please. Okay, moving on to question number two. X is the only actor to have earned a Filmfare Best Actor in a Leading Role as well as Best Actor in a Supporting Role nomination for the same movie in the year 1935. So on April 27th, which is roughly around this time, and so roughly around this time, about 18 years back, he was detained at Toronto airport and denied boarding his flight to Los Angeles because he had an Arabic name. And look, thus was considered a potential terrorist. So his Arabic name and his look made him a potential terrorist. So he was the first actor to receive a 1 crore as his salary. So I like, he got a salary of 1 crores for this one single film in 1994. I don't want the 94 film, I want the actor who got it. Rupankar, stop laughing out, please. Rishabh, no, I am not. Savitri, the answers are given on the next day of quizzes. So, yeah. So, this is who is very unique because he got both the nominations for Best Actor in Leading as well as Best Actor in Supporting role. Arvind, your wish, you can send it one by one, but it would be very easy for us if you send it together. Moving on, this is question number three. So this is where have you all heard a version of this? The girl of Egypt is in the girl of heart is in Egypt. Presented is all this beauty in the service of your greatness. In all this beauty is there in your service. With these ever burning flirtatious gestures, the wheel of your tearful eyes will be burnt. So this is not the thing you will see or hear. You will hear a version of this somewhere. So where would you hear a version of this? Please carefully see that you would not see this as it is. You will see a version of this. Moving on. So this is excerpt uh, from Outlook India. It is a landmark movie of Indian cinema. The studio where it was getting shot was very close to a railway track and had no soundproof stages. It was largely shot at night. The director would start shooting at 1 a.m. and after the last local had left and before the first train left Churchgate station at 4. So they had 3 hours to shoot. The crew had also to be extra cautious about extraneous noises as they were shooting with a Tanar, which is a single system camera, which recorded sound directly onto the film. X took months because of the hazards of having to record under difficult conditions, and please see this, it was a secret project. Also, another clue would be it is a not watched yet very, very known Indian film. So, which film is this? The one mark movie in the movie industry in India. I am pretty sure you all have heard of this movie, but you all cannot watch this movie as of now. So, moving on to question number 5 is this. So, in Amitabh Bachchan's 1982 film Desh Premi, the plot takes place in the Bharatnagar slum, which is divided into 4 sections. Each section has a don with regional identity. If the Punjabi was Shamsher Raj Kapoor or Shami Kapoor, the Madrasi don was Prem Nath, and Muslim section's don was essayed by Parikshit Sahni, the son of legendary Balraj Sahni, or as you can call him, Hitler Qureshi from Three Idiots, who played the Bengali don's role. So he's a legendary actor from this part of the country where with the part he represented in this movie. He's one iconic name in the Bengali industry and perhaps one of the only one to be called a superstar. So who is this? I made it as easy as possible. Moving on, question number 6. On this person's second birthday, he was gifted a small drum by his parents. That same day, the Iraq police band was marching down the streets outside his house. He took his little drum, joined the band, and started marching with the musicians. When his absence was discovered, his parents set out on a vigorous search and after 2 hours tracked him down. His father was Rai Bahadur Chunilal Kohli, who worked as an accountant with the Iraqi police Baghdad and later founded Bombay Talkies, the first major Bollywood studio. Wait. Huh. Sorry, guys, for this sudden zooming in. I just corrected it. Dhruv and Nitesh, you guys are full to cinephiles, and this is only for fun. So, yeah, let me give away some of the answers, please. Okay, there's an audio as a hint. I'll just play the audio. I'll just play the audio. Oh, by the way, before I play the audio, Rishabh has told me if anybody wants to, contribute questions or quizzes, please contact on the number given below or write a message on this page, and we'll get back to you. Here is the audio. दिल में मगर चलते रहे चाहत के दिए तेरे So you could hear the audio. I'll play the audio once again for people who did not realize. Here is the audio once again. दिल में मगर चलते रहे चाहत के दिए तेरे लिए. So this was the audio clue to this question. I want this thespian's name. Moving on to the next question. Oh, this is again an easy question if you think that way. So there are sister to two legendary Bollywood singers. She also ventured into industry in 1955. The two of the most famous songs by her as follows. Again, I am playing the songs, and I'm sorry for this. Every time I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. I'm sorry for this again. And here are the songs. This is the first song. And the next song is this. So she is a sister to two legendary singers. I want her name and not her two sisters' name. So, uh, sorry for the sudden disappearance. Aditya, I'm just sending you across something. Please check it out. Please, uh, I am sorry, Aditya. I'll send you across a link. Please check that. What audio do you want to me play me to want me to play again? Gautam da, it's which question? The previous question? অনেক বাচ্চারা আছে. Please excuse. So these are the audios that I was asked to play again. The first was this. And the next audio was this. So these were the audios that I was talking about. I want the name of the singers. Rupankar Nandi, public demand. You are not the only public. I'm a trained bathroom singer. That's it. Moving on. Is this so you have a poster of a movie, then you have screenshots of the from the movie, and then you have another poster. So I want the link. So how so something happens from the first movie which goes on to the second, and then similarly this something happens in the second movie that happens in the third. So yeah. So moving on to this question. Okay, I'll wait for it. I waited because of the sudden glitch in between. Moving on to question number 9. So Satish Kaushik made his directorial debut with Roop Ki Rani Choro Ka Raja, but initially he was the assistant director to that film. The original director, of whom you can see the picture on your right, had a tiff with Boni Kapoor, and that's why left the job midway, and then Satish Kaushik fulfilled the project. Who was the original director? Gautam da, I have 15 questions, and this is the ninth one. Arvind, you could see Vinay Pathak in the picture, and you had some actress. So I want this original director whose picture you can see on your right. So moving on, question number 10. You have a Tanuja starred directed by Ravi Naich, a film said to have the most funny scene ever in Bollywood, a Ranbir Kapoor film with R.D. Burman's music, a Rekha film with director Rishikesh Mukherjee, a Joy Mukherjee Asha Parekh film, a Saira Banu film having Kishore Kumar in the cast, and a Zeenat Aman venture. So where do we get the mention of uh, these films exactly in the same order? So you have like, so yeah, these these Rajashida, it would not may not have been a disaster, but it may have been a very different kind of film. I hope you agree. So anyway, so I want, where would you see this array of films exactly in this order? Also, Vrishabh asked me to give people some clues. So I can think of Saira Banu Kishore Kumar film, the most obvious guess. But for the Ranbir Kapoor film with RDB's music, can be track of this song was recreated recently in a second film of a particular what to say franchisee of movies that is very famous. So yeah, I want all these films in one particular order. Where can you hear them? Okay, moving on to question number 11. He was born as Ganesh Kumar Nadavode. He worked in Marathi cinema as an actor and producer under the banner of Anjana Arts. So Anjana was the name of his wife. In 1981-82, he acted in a Marathi stage play Hands Up alongside stage actors like Avinash Masurekar and Bhakti Barve Inamdar. The play was a super hit and he was noticed by an ace director who was searching for an artist to play the central negative character in one of his movies. So, identify this versatile actor went on to win the first ever Filmfare Award for Best Performance in a Negative Role in 1991. Another small clue would be a much awaited and delayed sequel of the 1991 film is on cards. So I want this. No, I do not want the number 1991 film. I want Who Was Born as Ganesh Kumar Nadavore, who got his first ever Filmfare Award for Best Performance in Negative Role. Moving on, question number 12. Okay, so before we go on to question number 12, I would say 12, 13, and 14. Before I go to question number 12, I would say question number 13, 14, and 15 have a very specific exhaustive connect to them. I want that specific connect as well for 3 more points. Moving on to question number 12. So it is not 12, 13, and 14. I'm sorry. It is 13, 14, and 15. So this is question number 12. In 1941, as a part of this scene in the movie Jung Azadi, actor Master Bhagwan was to slap X very hard. Being a new actor, he accidentally slapped her very hard, so which resulted in the facial paralysis and a burst left eye vein. 3 years of treatment later, X was left with a defective left eye. Thus, she had to abandon her lead roles. So she switched over to character roles. This is question number 12 and 13 to 15 have connect. So who is this lady who was devoid of lead and switched on to character roles? And after Ramayan being retelecasted on TV, this actress was also in the star cast of the legendary Ramayan. So who are we referring to? Moving on to question number 13. He debuted with silent films and got to act in the first Indian talkie, Alamara, in the year 1931. But he got his first big break with the movie Draupadi that very year. He's one of the only two people to have a particular feat attached to his name. In 1957, he donned the hat of a director with the film Paisa. So, who is this Bollywood thespian who once announced in the open air, standing on the gateway of India? If Hindi cinema does not accept me, perhaps I'm meant for Hollywood. So, yes. So I want this actor who said if he doesn't become a big shot in Hindi cinema, he is meant for Hollywood. Moving on to question number 14. He appeared for the first time on screen in 1945 in the film Inqilab, where he was just 10 years old. And the giveaway clue, a Russian song mentions him in the three best known symbols of Indian culture, along with Lord Shiva. And in 2001, he was awarded the Best Director of the Millennium by Stardust Awards. His last acting role was a cameo appearance in the 1984 British made for TV film titled Kim, based on Kipling's Kim. So, who is this great legend? He was also given a tribute of sorts by his dear friend Rishikesh Mukherjee in his 1971 film Anand. Moving on to the 15th question. X had his own production house known as Filmwalas, which produced films like Junoon in 1978, in 1981, Utsav in 1984, Ajuba in 1991, and many more. From the period of 1970 to 1975, he was the second highest paid Indian Hindi actor, along with Devanand, only after Rajesh Khanna. In his career, he was also a part of many films that got shelved, such as देवगढ़, यारी हो गई यार से, स्वर्ग से प्यारा घर हमारा, सदियों से है प्यार, कहीं दीप जले कहीं दिल, पहला पहला प्यार, नजराना, and finally a film called Uncle. Identify this ultra handsome actor who even essayed the role of the famous fictional sleuth Feluda in a 1981 telefilm. Okay, moving on. Oh, this is the last question, so I can't move on. I'm just repeat. So let us go back to questions quickly. So in 2015, I wanted this ultra handsome actor who even played Feluda in a 1981 film. Oh, I'm sorry, Ayan. Really? Okay. So one correction: the telefilm was made in. It was made in 81. Shumiran. I wrote it from actually the director's uh, post, but I think it came out in. So let's call it just a correction. It's a 1986 telefilm. So maybe I got confused with that. I said Shumiran. I'm sorry. It's Ion. Ion. So Ion. It was made in 81 and it came out in 86. So it's 86. Going back, 14th was this. He started with Inqilab and last being a British TV film called Kim. 13th was the director of the 1957 film Paisa and he debuted with silent films. He acted in Alamara. He got a big break in the movie Draupadi. He even claimed that if not doing good in Hindi cinema, he is perhaps meant for Hollywood. Going back, so 12, which actress was like too hard to even face, paralysis? Moving back, question number 11, I want someone who was born as Ganesh Kumar Nadhode. Going back, I want this particular place where you get all these films in this very particular order. Going back, I want the original director to Rup Kirani and Choro Ka Raja. This handsome man directed it and then directed and he left. Going back to question number 8, I wanted something with what that happened in Aag Le Lag Ja, went here to the second movie, and something happened in the second movie which came to the third movie. And here is your zoom in, Arvind. Here. So yes, I want going back. I played two songs, Aplam Chaplam and Mungada. I want the singer of the songs. Going back, question number 6. Whose father was Chunilal Kohli, who worked as an accountant with the Iraqi police and later founded the Bombay Talkies. And there was an audio as a hint. I am not playing it. Then I want the Bengali Don in Amitabh Bachchan's Desh Premi. Then is question a landmark movie which is not watched by any of us, but it is a very, very, very well known film. Question number 3 was this. You have not heard this as it is, but a version of this. So, what, where have you heard a version of this? Then question number 2, perhaps the only actor to have won a Filmfare for Best Actor in Leading as well as the Best Actor in Supporting Role. So, yeah, who is this actor? And the first question to my quiz was this. Someone, Paresh Rawal, someone, and Sachin Ketekar, and then someone, and I wanted the person who replaces that question mark. So here I go off now and off now. Please write your comments, brickbats, and bouquets either on this page, or if you know me personally, you can WhatsApp me, or you can send across to me on Facebook. You can mail me. You can say WhatsApp on that number given. And अच्छा चलता हूँ दुआओं में याद रखना. So yeah, I here go. Bye bye. Oh, so before I go, Rishabh, give me some things. We are looking for some more quiz masters. We will do this every alternate till 3rd of May. We are looking for more quiz masters. Please write us on that WhatsApp number that you can see on the page. Also, if you're very keen, you can write to either directly to me or Rishabh. And yeah, anything else, boss, that I need to do? अच्छा तो हम चलते हैं, फिर मिलेंगे जब हमें राही प्यार के, फिर मिलेंगे चलते चलते. बाय बाय गाइस. So before I go, here is a small thing that I like to play. So here you go.